Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I'm in my Beehive studio this morning. And Tuesdays is Casing Tuesday. It's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. And we have a whole group of bloggers that take that card and give it a makeover as well. So we have a Facebook group and everyone posts their card on the Facebook group and then everyone can see it. So it's a great way to have a starting point for your card and, you know, just be creative with that starting point. And it's a little community as well because we all comment on each other's cards, and so it's great. I love my Tuesday mornings. And so every Tuesday morning I do a Facebook Live here. And oh, you know what I was going to do today? I am borrowing my husband's iPad mini, and I'm just going to, excuse me for just 1 second. It's hard for me on my little tiny screen to see comments and stuff, and I want to be able to interact with you better. And it's tiny screen and it only shows a few comments, so I figured if I can look at the comments while this video is going on my little iPad mini, I'll be better off. So let me just do this. And if you're not watching this live, I'm sorry about this. Fast forward a bit till I get to my card stamping, or you can just hear me babble. So let me just go to the right place. Let me see if I can get on my live on here. Oh, okay. Let me click on here. Oh, okay. It should show me somewhere that I'm live. Where is this? Maybe I can reboot the page. As I'm not as versed with an iPad mini as I am with my laptop, so I'm trying to okay. When I'm clicking on things, it's not reacting the way I should. Sorry, guys. Okay, I don't want to write anything. I just want to go to my page. Why is this so difficult? Do you guys ever have this with technology? And especially with Facebook, like I feel like a lot of times, you know, they change things around in every different format, whether you're using your phone or your iPad or your laptop, it's all different. Okay, I think I'm getting to the right spot. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there I am. I'm live. Okay. Is it coming up? Then hopefully I can see your comments and not have to look up. And I thought I was on the right page. I had everything set up. What? This content isn't available right now. Okay, I will have to practice with this another time because it's just not going well for me this morning. I clicked on my video and it doesn't want to show it to me, so I'm gonna have to just read off the screen afterwards. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about this week, I am using the Love You to Pieces bundle, which is the puzzle pieces die. It's called, Puzzle Pieces Thinlits and the Love You to Pieces stamp set. And I'm using that all week, and I'm using it on today's card. And I really, really love these thinlits. So I'm kind of excited to be using it today on my Casing Tuesday card as well. So I want to show you this week all different ways that you can use this particular bundle. And I hope you'll love it as much as I do, because I love jigsaw puzzles. In fact, if there was a jigsaw puzzle out there on my table right now, I'd probably be doing that instead of my Facebook Live. They're very addictive, aren't they? All right, I'm going to turn this around before I start telling you my life story. Let me show you my view today. It's such a lovely day today. Look at that blue sky and the river. It's just gorgeous. I love it. Okay, and it might be warm again today. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt today. It's so nice out. All right. Okay, so today's card, Casing Tuesday. Let me pop this aside. Today's card is this card. I think it's a pretty easy layout, you know, kind of a square greeting up top here. And it's got kind of like a little edge going on right there. So I kind of did that with my card too. So I did the square with the, you can see, if I bring it up closer, you can see it's the jigsaw puzzle. And I did a little edging, and I used the delicate lace edgelets. Have you used this product yet? It is awesome. The little, I'll show you that in a moment, the different styles that comes in. But I love everything about this card. So let me pop these aside. So Love You to Pieces bundle are these two things. This is the stamp set, and here are the dies. Dies, there are only 3 of them. But this is such a cool piece. You can cut it, you can emboss it with our new Big Shot embossing mats. So there's a lot of options with it. So I was just mentioning, this is the delicate lace edgelets. I used this one today, and I'm just showing a peek of it, but it is quite big. And look at just, I haven't cut this intricate design yet, but I didn't have a use for it yet, but I can't wait because this one's really, really pretty. In fact, they all are. So I think this is a great little add-on to get to some of your other dies because it's quite a wow. All right, so this is my card, and let me just show you how I made it from start to finish. So the first things that I want to do, I think I'm going to do die cutting. Bring my Big Shot over in here. We're not going to do any embossing today. We actually need to die cut everything. And there's a couple of things that I need to die cut. So let's start off first. We're going to do a frame. So what I wanted to do with this card to make it easier to align all these pieces, this is actually a frame. It is not a layer, it is a frame. So I'm going to cut a frame to put my puzzle pieces into. It makes it just a little bit easier. So I'm going to grab my puzzle piece thinlets, and I'm just going to center this piece right in the center. I know it seems kind of weird that I'm cutting a bunch of puzzle pieces that I'm not going to use, but guess what? You could keep these puzzle pieces and use them for a future project. In fact, I've got my little, sorry, I'm walking away from the camera. In fact, I've got a little mug right here that is full of extra puzzle pieces that I've cut that I haven't used yet. And you might think, oh my gosh, Brenda, how the heck are you going to puzzle those back together if they're all the same color? Well, guess what? The pieces are the same. So like all of these corner pieces are the same. All of the side pieces that have the like the little, they're all the same. If they look the same, they are the same. So you don't necessarily have to know exactly how they go together, that you can scramble them up. So that's one good thing about this. I've got my magnetic platform here today. I've got my cutting plate on top of that. I've got my cardstock. I should tell you what my cardstock measurements are. This frame is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And the other thing I'm doing is putting this in on so that the point goes through first. If you put the puzzle so that it goes through like this, it's harder to run through the machine. If you put a point through first, it's actually easier. And if you're running through a bunch of puzzle pieces like I have over the last few days, you're really going to be like, yeah, I definitely need to do it this way. After about the 3rd time you go plunk with the machine, you're like, yeah, you remember to have it go point first. So I'm just putting another cutting mat on top and I'm running this through. So the only thing I'm going to keep with this run through is my little frame. And then I'm going to take my little mug here and I'm going to deposit the extra pieces into the mug for a rainy day when I want to create a blueberry bushel puzzle. For some reason, I might want it as a background. Who knows what I'm going to use it for? And I might just end up throwing it out in a few weeks, so we'll see. The other thing I want to do is I need to create that edge. So this is a piece of Melon Mambo. I cut it to 3 inches by 3 7/8 inches. We're going to put the die along the 3 7/8 inch side. Oh, that's a mouthful. Okay, so I'm going to put this die such that one of the big, I'll hold this up in a second so you can see it. I'm lining up the die with the edge of my cardstock and I'm putting it such that this big shell scallopy thing is right along the edge there. And then this one, it's not going to be perfectly symmetrical, but because I have a banner coming across right here, it doesn't really matter. So I'm putting this also on a bit of a wonky angle because it doesn't make that weird clunky noise when you, like if you put it through, you know, when it's perfectly square, it makes that clunky noise. So this is a better way to cut. And because this has a lot of detail in it, I'm going to go through, I'm going to run it back. This one has a lot of pieces in it. So when I lift this off, oh, this time only a couple pieces stuck. So let me see. I'm going to just hold this over my garbage can, but you can see how this cut. When I lift it off, see all the little shards are on there. I just want to get it off my garbage can. I'm going to give it some little flicks. That helps get rid of some of them. And then some of them I'm just going to have to poke out. You could also use your die brush, but my die brush is across the room. And I'm just going to poke out these few little pieces real quick. Some of them don't want to, some of them are stuck to the back by a little piece of cardstock. All right, you little challenging pieces. Okay, there's that piece. So the last piece we're going to need to do, I need to get these little pieces off, is the puzzle piece. And it's a neat idea to use designer series paper for your puzzle because that way you don't have to do a lot of stamping. And we have a lot of gorgeous designer series paper that have cute little scenes or a floral pattern. And you know sometimes how puzzles come with like really tricky puzzles, like, you know, you have a puzzle full of M&Ms, you know. So don't be scared don't be scared to use a pattern like this that's kind of a busy overall pattern, because it can look just as cool, you know, as a scene. So this piece is 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and I need to put it on an angle, and I need to make sure my puzzle die fits perfectly on top of there. And then I'm running it through. The reason I'm running through this one last is because I'm going to kind of keep it on my cutting mat. So in this particular case, because there is a pattern, I do want to have it in order. So I'm going to put this shot away. And I have my little puzzle pieces thing here. Okay. I need to think, what am I going to do next? I am going to assemble the puzzle. So I'm creating a little frame, but I want to build my frame on top of, or I want to build my puzzle on top of another piece. So I've got another piece of blueberry bushel cardstock here that is 3 7/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches. I'm going to take some Tombow here, and I'm going to add it to my frame. Try not to use too much globby glue so it won't squeeze out, but just enough so that it will stick to my base. Make sure I kind of line it up. The glue gives you a moment to kind of slide things around and make sure it is lined up. So now I have a nice little base to create my project on. So let me see. Okay, I'm going to just push on the puzzle pieces. I think you can see that. And I'm just kind of releasing them from, I want to keep them in order. Okay. All right, and then there's this little tiny piece. Cardstock, I'll get rid of that. Okay, so these are in order. Now, one thing before I start assembling, I want to have one piece that's missing, and it's going to be this piece down here. So very carefully, I'm going to just set that piece aside to remind myself not to glue that down. So now I can start gluing. So far, I haven't invented a lot of good ways to do this yet, but when you have to adhere puzzle pieces, you have to adhere them. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow along this line. Careful not to go down too far because there is a space where the hole is that you don't want glue. So I'm just going to do the first line, the top line of the puzzle. I'll take my first puzzle piece, put it in the corner, and then I'm going to take the next puzzle piece, line it up. It's nice that I have that edge right there. It keeps everything straight. And so I'm just going to work my way around or along the top edge. Okay, then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put Tombow in a line like that. And I'm going to come down and add the puzzle pieces as I go along. This way I don't actually have to do the puzzle, because maybe that would be fun for some of you, but you know, when you're creating the card, you probably just want to get this puzzle together, right? So then I'm going to start up here, and I just want to make sure I'm hitting the middle of the puzzle. Don't go too far, otherwise you're going to have glue in a spot that you don't want glue. And then you're just going to come along, keep kind of sliding them into place. I'm coming along to the edge. All right, so now I'm going to do my bottom row here. Put it in the middle and just kind of fit them into place. It's such a pretty puzzle. It makes me happy. Then I need to put Tombow right here. Okay, and then just slide this into place. Okay, and then just one more. Oh. Come on, don't be difficult, you're the last piece. All right, so now we've got this whole thing done except for that one piece, because I'm kind of going off the greeting, which is thanks for keeping me together. And so I kind of want to really make sure people see that this is a puzzle, right? If you have poor eyesight, you might not realize that this is a puzzle, you know, look it up from far away, busy pattern. But because I've left this out, because this is a dark color, you can see it really well. Now, I have to show you one thing that I did. My very first card that I did, I chose this one, and it had a lot of blue in it. So you can see this puzzle piece does not show up as well. And I liked this card, but I didn't think it would photograph very well. So where's my other card? Where is my other card? Seriously. Now I have lost my other card that was, oh, there it is, my sample card. Okay, so look at the difference between these two cards. See how defined that on the right, how defined that puzzle piece is, and on the left here, it's harder to see the puzzle piece. So when I chose this pattern of paper, which this paper is the Abstract Impressions paper, which is just lovely. Nope, Garden Impressions Designer Series paper. Okay, the stamp set that it belongs to, the suite, is called Abstract Impressions. This is called Garden Impressions paper, and it's just gorgeous. But this particular pattern, I probably should have used a different color as my background color, and then this would have stood out more. So definitely this card is like a better, stands out more. Okay, moving right along. I need to create a little banner for the front of my card. This piece measures 3 3/8 inches by 1 3/4 of an inch. I'm using my banner triple punch. Let me open it up here. And this doesn't fit perfectly in one of the slots, but you're just going to stick it in all the way to the back and just center it. You know, there's about 1/8 of an inch on either side. Just make sure it looks pretty centered, and then you can punch it. And that way you can do in between sizes up to 2 inches on that punch. Then I'm going to take my Blueberry Bushel ink pad, open it up like a compact, and I like to slide it down on my work surface. I find it easier like that. I'm going to take this stamp. It says, "Thanks for keeping me together." So cute. Ink it up. Piece of lint on there. And then I'm just going to stamp that around my little banner piece. I did take this stamp and I trimmed around it a little bit just to give me a better idea of where the whole image is, because I don't put my stickers on my stamps. They're not quite as sticky that way, and the cling foam works really well. So I often give my stamps a little trim around the edge so I can see better exactly where all the words and stuff are. So that is all the stamping that I did on the entire card, just that one little thing. I need my card base. This is our new soft sea foam cardstock. This card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at the 4 1/4 inch mark. All right. If you guys have any questions about this bundle while I'm doing it, just go ahead and ask. And afterwards, I'm going to go check my phone and see if you have any questions, see if there's anything that I can help you understand if you don't have this bundle yet. Because there's things that I learned about it while I was doing it that, you know, that I might be able to tell you. So here's the piece I cut. So I just need to kind of adhere it to the edge right here. So I'm going to take some Tombow. I'm just going to put it on this part right here, because it's all going to get stuck down to the card anyway. So I can just kind of play with it a bit and see how much do I want to have sticking out. Probably about that much. And then I notice right down here, there's a little Chad that did not want to let go. There. Okay, so now I can stick this on the front of my card. Use some Tombow. Okay, so when I'm sticking this down on here, I'm going to keep the same amount of space on these three sides, the top, the bottom, and the side. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. You know, if you've watched my Facebook Lives before, you know I need to have a little bit of control over where things appear on the card. Okay, and then I need to add this. So I'm gonna have it come right about there. So let me add some Tombow to the back of my banner. And where did I say? About there. I want enough room so that this puzzle piece right here can be like still seen really, really well. And then as a little piece that just to finish it off, I'm just going to add a little Tombow to my last little piece. And I'm just going to put this down here like that. And when you look at the card, you'll be able to see, oh, there's the little missing puzzle piece from there. So that is how that little card works. And so this is my original card, and I used a different type of paper. I actually like this card better. Isn't that funny how you will go through and make things and try different patterns of paper, and in the end, the one that you just kind of did as an extra ends up looking nicer. I think maybe this smaller pattern is a nicer design for this particular card. And then just remember, when you're picking your pattern in your background color, the background color should be, the frame color and this missing piece should be a color that doesn't appear in your paper, or at least it doesn't appear in your paper close by, because there's some little blue flowers here and it muddles up the design a bit. So it's better to kind of stick to, you know, a contrasting color that doesn't appear in your paper. So let me just go scroll through the questions, and then I'll sit down and see if there's anything that I can answer for you. Oh, I'm so glad someone said they're glad to catch me live this morning. Thank you everyone for joining me. It's so nice to have you here, and lots of people with nice weather today. I'm so glad, because you know it is almost summer, so we should be getting, oh, and there's someone here from Western Massachusetts. That's so cool. I love that. Okay, I don't see any questions. Let me turn myself back around. Okay. All right, so if you want to join our Casing Tuesday group, the link is in the description below, and you can just click on it, and you can see all the things that we're doing on the group. We have one challenge card a week that you can copy and make over however you like, and we're very consistent. We're there every single week, and so it's a great way for you to get better at stamping. It's, you know, when you take someone else's design as a starting point and you use it as a template for your card, you learn a lot about someone's different designs. And it really helps me to expand the things that I do too, because we all get kind of stuck in a rut, Brenda's style. And it's nice that all of our bloggers that blog with us regularly, they're allowed to choose a card too. So this card was not chosen by me, or the original card was not chosen by me. And so it's nice to really get out of your comfort zone and try different cards. So I will be, I'll be doing another Facebook Live on Thursday. Tomorrow I have a video for you. I am doing a 3D with the puzzles. And so I hope you'll look at my video tomorrow. I'm quite excited about that project. And then Thursday I have some more cards for you. And so I hope you will join me, and I will try and do it. I'm am aiming for 10 a.m. on Thursday as well. I'm kind of doing a new setup. I've only been doing this for 2 weeks, doing more Facebook Lives. And so I'm still not quite in the routine of things, but somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. I will pop on here and I will share my cards with you and go through how to make them. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you back here next Tuesday. Bye.